In October of 2025, thieves broke into the Louvre, into the Galerie d'Apollon, the hall of the French crown jewels. They cut into the cases, took historic jewels, and vanished in minutes. But one stone never left its case, the Regent Diamond. And here is the strange part. The Regent is the stone with the dark reputation. It is said to be cursed, and popular accounts point at its owner's fates as evidence. Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette guillotined. Napoleon dead in exile. The legend reaches back further still. The story goes that an enslaved man found the stone at India's coal mine. He hid it, the tale says, inside a wound in his own leg, and fled the siege of Golconda in 1687. It is a terrible, unforgettable origin. There is just one problem. The Louvre's own catalogue dates the diamond's discovery to 1698, 11 years after that siege. The museum's record mentions no enslaved man at all. No known primary source records as the legend.
And commentators have noted that the Regent's sensational stories may have been fabricated, invented to add to the stone's allure.
Which raises a question about every cursed jewel on Earth. If the curse did not come from the stone, then someone wrote it. Tonight, 5 case files. 5 famous curses. 5 authors. We open the ledger at file 5 and count down to the most cursed gem in the world. File 5 sits in London's Natural History Museum, and its name is already wrong. The Delhi Purple Sapphire is not a sapphire. It is an amethyst, purple quartz. The museum describes an oval stone mounted in a silver ring shaped like a snake, decorated with zodiac symbols and engraved with the letter T. So why does a science museum keep a stone like this? Because of the paperwork that came with it.
According to a letter its owner wrote in 1904, the stone was looted from the temple of the god Indra at Kanpur.
A colonel of the Bengal cavalry, the letter says, carried it to England. That owner was a writer named Edward Heron Allen, and he did not stop there. His warning letter says the stone is trebly accursed and is stained with blood, and the dishonor of everyone who has ever owned it. The museum's own page keeps the tale at arm's length. Allegedly, its subsequent owners were then plagued by suicides, apparitions, disasters, and failed careers. Now for the ledger. The letter dates the looting to the mutiny of 1855. The uprising at Kanpur happened in 1857, as slip scholars have noticed. And in 1921, Heron Allen published a collection of fiction under a pen name. Its title story is called The Purple Sapphire. The museum itself reports as rumor, not fact, that the curse was fabricated to promote that story. In 2022, a writer reported that the museum's own mineral curator assured her there is no clear suggestion of any truth in it. File 5, verdict. The author owned the stone. The curse may be a book advertisement. File 4 is not one stone. It is every opal on earth, an entire gem accused at once. For most of history, opal had a growing reputation. Pliny the Elder tells of a Roman senator named Nonius who fled into exile with one possession, his opal ring, valued at 2 million sesterces. In the 16th century, the scholar Cardano bought an opal for 15 gold crowns. He wrote that it gave him as much pleasure as a diamond costing 500. So where did unlucky opal come from? From a novel. In 1829, Sir Walter Scott published Anne of Geierstein. In it, a legend is told of Lady Hermione. Holy water strikes the opal in her hair, the stone goes colorless, and she collapses. Readers took it as a curse. But Scott himself explains the death away inside the book. Hermione was believed poisoned. The opal only paled because opals were thought to pale near poison. The recipients agree. In 1913, the gemologist George Frederick Kunz traced the superstition's origin to a careless reading of Scott's novel. In Cardano's day, Kunz added, no such dark fancies existed. In 1875, a puzzled Victorian asked in a London journal where the belief had even come from. No reply traced it to Scott. You may have heard that Opal sales collapsed by half after the novel. That figure has no period source, and the society that repeats it labels its own lore, not meant to be interpreted as fact. File 4, Verdict. This curse has an author, and he even wrote the acquittal. His readers just skipped the last page. File 3, The Black Orlov, a cushion-cut black diamond of 67.5 carats. It is real enough to have been exhibited at the American Museum of Natural History in 1951. Its legend is the full Gothic package. The stone, it is said, was once an eye in a statue of the god Brahma in Pondicherry. A cleric pried it loose and the theft cursed it. The curse then collected its debts. A New York diamond dealer brought the stone to America, the story goes, and leapt to his death from a skyscraper in 1932. Two exiled princesses who owned it are said to have jumped from buildings in Rome in 1947. The stone was even named, they say, for a Russian princess who once possessed it. Now open the ledger. No official record of the dealer's fall has ever been found. No records of the princess's deaths exist either, and the only princess on record with the right name had already died, in Switzerland, in 1918. As for the namesake, no documentation of a princess called Nadia Vigin-Orlov has ever surfaced. Even the rescue attempt is unverifiable. The diamond was supposedly cleaved into 3 pieces to break the curse.
But the cutter's identity and the year were never recorded, and the other 2 stones have never been seen.
A specialist diamond reference puts it plainly. Most accounts of this stone's early history deserve the utmost skepticism. File 3, Verdict. A curse with no death certificates. Every tragedy dissolves the moment you ask for paperwork, and the stone kept its dark fame anyway. File 2 is the most famous diamond in the British crown jewels, the Koh-i-Noor, the Mountain of Light. Its story, historians admit, remains shrouded in myth and mystery, including the rumor that the diamond is cursed. But this curse has a birthplace, and it is not a temple. The rumor may have originated in a colonial newspaper, the Delhi Gazette, and it was soon repeated by the Illustrated London News. It spread far enough that Queen Victoria herself expressed concern about it. So the rumor is real, as a rumor, moving through print. What the file actually documents is the transfer. The last Treaty of Lahore was signed in 1849. Article 3 states that the Koh-i-Noor shall be surrendered by the Maharaja of Lahore to the Queen of England. The Maharaja in question, Duleep Singh, was 10 years old. The British had already imprisoned his mother. A 10-year-old, his mother in prison, signed away a kingdom and its diamond. No curse was needed for any of this. Only an empire. Today the stone sits in the jewel house at the Tower of London, set in the crown made for the Queen Mother, and the rumor still follows it. File 2, Verdict. The newspapers wrote the curse. The documents wrote the taking. And notice what the legend quietly does when a stone sounds dangerous. What happened to its owners starts to sound like fate instead of policy. That is what a curse is for. File 1. You knew it was coming. The Hope Diamond, the most famous cursed gem on Earth. Its documented story begins in 1666, when the French merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier bought a huge blue diamond in India and carried it home. Louis XIV acquired it and had it recut into the French blue, a stone of about 67 carats. In the revolution, the crown jewels were stolen, and the French blue vanished from history. Then, in 1812, a London jeweler quietly documented a smaller blue diamond. His memo is dated 2 days after the statute of limitations for the revolution's crimes expired. Convenient timing, the file notes dryly.
In 1839, the stone surfaced in the published catalogue of a London banking family, the Hopes.
The name stuck. And in 2005, a computer modeling study settled the old question. The Hope diamond was cut from the stolen French blue. The stone and its journey are real. The curse came later. Cursed tales gathered around the diamond in the late 1800s. Around 1911, the jeweler Pierre Cartier set out to sell the stone to the American heiress Evelyn Walsh McLean. Accounts of that sale describe him wrapping the diamond in exactly those stories. The price is disputed. Figures near $180,000 are the most repeated. What no one disputes is the grief that followed. Her son died at 9, struck by a car. Her husband was declared insane and died in a hospital. Her daughter died at 24. Real sorrow poured into a frame built to close a sale. The full film of this stone's ledger is on this channel, one click away. 5 files, 5 verdicts, and the same fingerprints on every one. The Delhi Purple Sapphire. Cursed by its own owner, a writer, quite possibly to promote his fiction.
The Opal, condemned by a misread novel, acquitted on the last page nobody read.
The Black Orlov, a tragedy with no death certificates, retold by every hand that sold it. The Koh-i-Noor, a curse born in newspapers, draped over a taking recorded in treaty ink. And the Hope diamond, decades of gathered rumors, embroidered by a salesman to win an heiress. A curse, it turns out, is never found inside a stone. It is written onto the stone by an author, a dealer, a newspaper, or an empire, because a cursed stone is a story, and stories sell. Remember the Regent, the diamond the Louvre thieves left behind. Its gallery was still closed this spring. The stone is still there, still magnificent, still wearing a legend that no primary source can find. The stones are innocent. The ink never is. One more thing before you go. In October of 1964, 3 men climbed into the American Museum of Natural History in New York. The alarm batteries in the gem hole had been dead for months. A window had been left open 2 inches. By morning, the Star of India, one of the largest star sapphires in the world, was gone. No curse in that file. Just a glass cutter, a white Cadillac, and a bus locker in Miami. That story is the next film. Subscribe before this stone vanishes again. I tell one true gem story daily.